On a scale of attractiveness from 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself? Be honest with me, bro. 1 being ugly, not good looking, no charisma, no social skills type of guy, to 10 being the absolute stud with an amazing hairstyle, amazing body, amazing charisma, social skills, and all the accolades that you might imagine when you think about 10 out of 10 type of guy. What would you rate yourself? 7 or 10 or maybe 5? Look, man, if you are 9 or 10, there's not too much you can learn from this video, but if you are anywhere between 1 to 8, then this video can be helpful to you. So we're not just gonna talk about read more books and go to the gym. Those things are kind of obvious and yeah, it makes sense, but you don't really know how to use them into your advantage. Like, you might be a bodybuilder who's going to the gym for 5 years, 10 years, you might look like a huge bulldog, but then what good is a body if you don't know how to use it? What good is a skill if you're not gonna apply that in real life and into real practice? So I'd like to present this video as a no BS guide to going from average to a hot guy. Let's go. Number 1 is gonna be style. Now, no matter what you think, no matter what your taste is, Air Max, basketball jerseys, Yeezys, they're not gonna do the job, man. If you look at photos from last century, 20th, 19th century even, people used to wear collared shirt, suit and tie. They used to carry themselves in a very respectable manner. Even when they talk, they used to talk like, sir, excuse me. They would be talking in an argumentative way, which would automatically place respect on other people too. Now you might say, hey, times have changed, and that's true, but nowadays, this notion of always keeping up with the trend is kind of ridiculous. If one dude comes out with a design for boots, everybody has to get it. Everybody has to be wearing the same thing because apparently this is cool. Now what you might end up becoming is just another soldier in an army of consumers. You might be thinking, hey, I'm gonna get this Yeezys, they're cool, they're comfortable, and they look dope. But on the other hand, do they actually look dope? When you wanna look quote unquote attractive and even hot, you should consider style which is a bit more mature, which takes you from being a boy into being more like a man. In a nutshell, you need to be a bit more mature and taken care of when it comes to your style and when it comes to what you put on your body. Wear clothes that outline or highlight your features. For example, as a man, you're blessed with wide shoulders naturally. So why not wear shirts which outline your shoulders? Or if you're a short guy, instead of opting for oversized baggy clothes, why don't you opt for slim fit, monotone or monochrome clothes? If you're skinny or if you're a dude with an average body, you could pull off oversized or this type of styles. The main problem is don't try to be a cool dude. You're not a dude. You want to be a man. You want to be a high stature, good looking, attractive, confident man. And you're not gonna become that guy by wearing skinny jeans and Yeezys. You want to dress like a man that you are. And that means shirts for shoulder lines or classy outfits or at least minimalistic colors. Look, I get it. A simple t-shirt is comfortable to wear, right? I'm rocking one of them now. It's comfortable. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to iron them. I don't have to look after the buttons. Everything is simple. But I'm not saying that you have to be wearing suit and tie. No, that's not the case. My point is, if you want to look good, you can't just be wearing simple stuff like t-shirts and shorts and Air Max or Yeezys. What that signals to other people is that you just follow trends. You just feed the trends. You don't have your own unique style. Just putting some effort will elevate your style tremendously. And look, if you're struggling with what type of style to pick, I can recommend you some. One of them could be smart casual. Another one could be semi-formal. Or you could opt for simple minimalistic shirts and pants. You could also try the trendy style called old money nowadays, or something like streetwear or dapper. Number 2, how to go from an average guy to a hot stud is to have an impeccable hygiene. Sounds obvious, but is it actually obvious? Your hygiene has to be flawless. You have to be shaved, you have to be trimmed. I've talked to many of my friends, female friends, they would mostly say that hygiene is one of the red flags if it's absent or green flags if it is there. They would also say that if the hygiene is not there, I'm not gonna be feeling myself comfortable to be close to that guy, to have any type of physical contact. Well, if you take care of yourself, that just signals to other people that you are able to keep yourself on point and fresh. Trim your hair, shower regularly, have a skincare routine, avoid dry skin, take care of yourself in general. Once a girl told me a story about a guy that she met up with. She told me that instead of taking a shower, he preferred to use a deodorant, and you know it doesn't work like that. Keeping yourself clean is one of the biggest priorities for you to become attractive. Now we're going from easier to difficult tasks, easier to difficult points, and style and hygiene, yeah, it kind of makes sense. It's easy to take care of, but the next one is going to be a bit more difficult if you don't have it. And number 3 is going to be keeping a masculine frame. Look, if there's one thing I want you to take out of this video is that you have to have a masculine frame. You might be the most good looking guy, you might be the most model looking, perfect jawline, perfect symmetric structure of your face, this type of guy, but if you don't have masculine frame, I'm sorry, nothing's gonna work. Masculine frame is when you are confident of your abilities, is when you are comfortable with the things that you're saying, comfortable with being who you are, meaning you don't have to prove anything to other people, you don't have to get their validation. You are good with yourself, you're good there, everything is fine. The interesting question is, how do you actually portray masculine energy or masculine frame? Now what you you do is, one of them is eye contact. If you're able to look people in the eye and talk to them and smile to them and have this eye contact, it signals that you are comfortable with yourself, comfortable being in this situation, talking to whomever you are talking to. Masculine frame is also confidence in whatever you're saying, in all the messages that you carry with yourself, your priorities and principles. Besides that, it could also be a humor. When you're going out for a date with a girl, instead of talking about serious topics all the time, laugh about things. Take things in an easier, chill way. And this is very important, nagging. You should be able to nag and make jokes out of small situations. Nagging or kind of teasing is one of the most simple ways for you to flirt with girls. If you don't know how to flirt, just use nagging. I'm explaining. Let's say you go to a bar with a girl, right? And then you're like, okay, let's order drinks, you're drinking. And then the girl says, hey, let's order more drinks. Okay, let's get more drinks. Instead of saying that, you could just say, hey, waiter or waitress, could you please come here? We have an alcoholic here, right? Like, yeah, I know this sounds kind of offensive, but that's the thing. Sometimes you want to kind of like nag and tease, just making small jokes, provided that she is able to have humor and she is able to laugh at your jokes. All of these things combined, like being able to provide and protect, do humor and nagging and teasing, all of these things can be associated as one thing, and that is masculine frame. Number 4 on how to go from being an average dude to becoming a stud or a hot guy is to be on a purpose. Take this in. People who are on their purpose are usually occupied. They're busy working on something, they're busy achieving their goals. They're busy because they're locked in on something bigger than themselves. Obviously, as an adult, you could do whatever you want. You could satisfy your needs, play Xbox, play some fun stuff, play on your phone and play computer games and just talk about consumption and getting everything inside, right? Like, I want information inside, I want entertainment. But at the same time, people who are able to provide value to the world, they're the ones who are on purpose. At some point, you have to stop thinking about what can I get into myself and start thinking about what can I get out of myself to the world and what type of value I can provide to the world. Being on purpose doesn't have to be any hypothetical unicorn type of dreams like curing cancer or saving the world. Like, doesn't have to be anything serious or specific like that. It could be as simple as studying or working or aspiring to become the best doctor or videographer or content creator. Just one of those things that will keep you occupied and will keep you fulfilled while at the same time providing value to the people. So when you have your purpose, you are already confident with what you're bringing to the table. You're confident that you are able to pay the bills. You're confident that you are able to provide value to the people. You have some type of reputation. So when you have all of those things, all of those gems in yourself, you are able to walk away from any type of negotiation. Because think about it, if you're going on a date, if you're going to interview in a type of situations where it involves other parties negotiating or talking about stuff, you should be able to walk away any minute with your heart full of fulfillment and with your mind in peace. Only when you're on purpose and only when you're occupied with something positive is when you're actually a high value man. Number 5, how to go from an average dude to becoming a hot stud is gonna be, I can paraphrase it, but listening or communication skills. If you go meet women, instead of talking about yourself, instead of trying to convince them that, hey, I do this, I do paragliding, I do parachute jumping, instead of talking about these things, let women talk. You have to listen to her, you have to pay close attention and ask smart questions. So if women want to talk, don't deprive them of that opportunity. You don't have to prove anyone about your value. Like, if somebody decides to meet with you, it already means that that person sees some type of value in you. She might be attracted in you. So instead of just taking stuff out of you and giving all of this information and trying to convince, hey, I'm cool, I am interesting, try to ask questions and be interested in other people. It also means that you're not gonna ask just simple, boring questions. You'll ask something that will make people trigger their brain in a positive way to come up with interesting answers. How are you? Or what's your favorite color? Instead of those boring questions, what you could do is you could intrigue them. You could say, do you know who you remind me of? And boom, you captured the attention. The person who is talking to you is going to be 100% devoted to this conversation because they're curious. They want to find out. Humans, we are ego-driven creatures. We want to find out more about ourselves. We want to hear some praise and some information about ourselves. Obviously, we could mention many other things like perfume or haircut or hobbies or having a perfect jawline. But all of those things are bonus to you and you don't have to have them in order to be considered as a attractive, good-looking stud. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. I'll see you in the next one.